Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. Once again, my name is Jason Garish, and thank you for tuning in. Let's get right into things. Got a lot to cover, so start off with kind of start of the week, whatnot. Dynamite. The big news is Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. Now, I've been talking about this for a while. And ever since I started the podcast, the main thing I've been saying is so one thing that AEW lacks is history. So this gives them some lineage, it gives them some history, and it gives them a tape library so that they can offer a streaming service. So this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that from reports, he probably paid anywhere from $20 to $25 million, which is absurd, which is way too much. But so I don't know how good of a business deal it was for him, but for us as fans, I think this is going to be a great, great deal. You know, and of course, the show started off with Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels, which was, I believe, the first Ring of Honor main event, if I'm not mistaken. Daniels looked good, except for that eye that's been an issue for a while now. Apparently, I guess the situation he gets like blood hemorrhages in his eye, so it was really really kind of grotesque. But other than that, he looked great in the ring, you know, and it was great to see him and Daniels go at it. By the way, Christopher Daniels is 51 years old. So wow, he looked good for a 51-year-old, and it was a real nice way to start off the night because with the handshake and everything. Obviously, it went downhill in a hurry, but you know, Moxley was there to make the save, quote unquote, and kind of led into what was going to happen at Revolution, so it was a go home thing. It was set the pay-per-view up, which is what it was supposed to do. It was a good intro to the show. Next we had the tag team battle royale. You know, some good team moves on display. It was a fun match. Really hard to keep track of everyone who was left, but if I'm not mistaken, the Young Bucks advance, unfortunately, in that. Then we had let's see, what was next on that? We had the MJF and CM Punk promo. Add some new depth to the whole feud, which was nice. You know, I kind of guessed they would go this way because I didn't think that MJF promo was going to set him up as a babyface. I didn't think they were going to do that double turn or whatnot. So I'm glad they did what they did. And MJF, you know, sealed the deal as far as him being a heel. Wow, did he? What a great promo from both guys, and great setup for the pay-per-view. A lot of people wondering how things were going to go, especially since last week's promo that MJF did with the real heartfelt, over dramatic promo they delivered, which was really good. But a lot of people are now thinking that, oh, how do they turn him babyface now? Trust me, they can. This guy's good enough to do it. They've got enough ammunition to do it. It's not going to be an issue. In the future, he will eventually turn babyface, but right now he is, bar none, it's not even close, he is the best heel in wrestling right now. And the guy, years beyond his age as far as wrestling skill and intelligence, just great. You know, and obviously had the save by Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara, which sets up their match for the pay-per-view. But boy did Punk bleed in that. Wow. And that's, like I said, I kind of feeling they were going to go this way. I didn't think there'd be any type of double turn where Punk went heel and whatnot, it would undermine Wardlow's eventual turn to a babyface. So I kind of knew they weren't going to go that route. It would have been interesting, but I'm glad they didn't. And we had Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Not the greatest tag team match. It's kind of funny, which sucks because I like everyone involved in it. There was a funny moment where Thunder Rosa went to the wrong corner and quickly realized that there were a couple of kind of off things in the match there. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Thunder Rosa pins Britt, which was kind of predictable because I think they wanted to do that just to make her look stronger and put some doubt in the minds of people that maybe Britt Baker would be dropping the belt. So I think that was kind of the setup for the pay-per-view, get people excited to that. And then we get Wardlow getting another match, and man, he's getting a lot closer to turning babyface at that point. At this point, I really had a feeling it was going to happen at Revolution. And they're kind of taking a page out of WWE's book in the way that they've been booking tag matches to set up the pay-per-view. I guess it works. It's worked for years with WWE, so why try to reinvent the wheel if it still works? Works fine. It was all in all, it was a good show, but it was a little bit of a letdown from last week, because last week's show felt more like a go-home show than this one did, but still, it did its job. It set up the pay-per-view, and it did what it had to do. A lot of other things in the news, man. The gift that keeps on giving. Sonny, Tammy Sitch was arrested once again. So, enough said on that one. Wow. I know there were some rumors floating around of Cody Rhodes leading an ROH invasion. Nothing happened at the pay-per-view, obviously, but that's something that still could happen because I hear that the talks between him and WWE have stalled, and I didn't think they were going to be successful anyway, but that's I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where WWE would use him, but we'll see. We'll see. The door's open. I'm sure they would love to have him back at AEW, and that might be an interesting thing if he does a faux ROH invasion takeover / thing. A lot of people are thinking that the Ring of Honor could be used as their developmental territory in AEW. Kind of get rid of Dark. I wouldn't get rid of Rampage, but getting rid of the Dark shows, or maybe even adding another show on like TNT or TBS would be a cool deal. I don't know if Turner would be willing to do that, but yeah, if they could set ROH up as kind of a developmental territory and kind of switch in between, that would be interesting. I think that, rather than what they've been doing with Dark, that would be much more interesting. And I'm hoping now that they have all those years of tapes, I'm hoping they put that to good use and get a streaming service together. As it is, I know that AEW doesn't have as many pay-per-views as WWE, but was it $50 or $60? That's a lot to shell out. So if they could get some kind of package deal together with the streaming service, that would be awesome. That would be great. Other things, prayers going out to Scott Hall. Unfortunately, he fell and broke his hip, so that's going to be a tough one. So yeah, hopefully, prayers are with him, because one thing about doing like a hip surgery and recovery and all of the rehabilitation that's going to be involved with that is, I'm hoping they don't prescribe any opiates, because you don't want to see Scott Hall fall back into some bad habits, and if he's in pain, he very well could. So, yeah, prayers going out to Scott Hall. Another thing in the news, Cain Velasquez arrested for attempted murder. I'm not sure where that stands right now. Man, there's a really sad story because my understanding is that it was a relative of his that was possibly sexually assaulted at this daycare center that they'd been going to, and man, I can't say that I wouldn't do the same thing. I mean, that's really, I guess it was a son of the owners, if I'm not mistaken, who, the alleged son of the owners that allegedly perpetrated some of these acts. And if it's true, I mean, I think it was a missionary that from Wrestling Soup that said the only thing he did wrong was miss. So hopefully there's a lot of leniency in his sentencing, because man, I hope he doesn't. Because like I said, I can't even fathom being in that situation. Prayers go out to him. That's a tough one. There are a lot of people that would sympathize with him, and hopefully the judge has leniency when he's in court, because that's a tough one. That's a tough one. This week we found out that Vince is inducting The Undertaker. That should be interesting. There was a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation going around that it was going to be Glenn Jacobs, Kane, inducting The Undertaker. But it's turning out to actually be Vince. That's wild. I can't remember the last time he inducted anyone. I'd like Glenn to be part of it, though. I think that would be really, really appropriate and really cool. I don't know if the WWE is distancing themselves from Glenn because of his recent comments. He had a really poorly worded tweet that went out regarding the Ukraine situation, and man, I agree with some of his. He made some valid points, but very poorly written and very inappropriate, and bad timing. Adam Page had a response to his tweet, and I think he mentioned like UNICEF for Ukraine, whatnot. But yeah, very unfortunate there. He's got Glenn's got to choose his words more carefully. He's an intelligent guy. He knows better than that, and he shouldn't have done that. Being a mayor in Knoxville County, you've got to be a little more diplomatic than that, I should say. So yeah, Jacobs stuck his foot in his mouth, unfortunately, which sucks because I really like that guy. And some other big news: AJ was attacked by Edge, setting up a WrestleMania match. So I'm looking forward to that. I would watch WrestleMania for that. I love AJ. He's one of, if not my favorite wrestlers, and a match between him and Edge, I think, is going to be great. I wish they had done something a little bit more. Maybe they'll do something tonight. I don't know. Maybe tonight on Raw or whatnot, but because it feels kind of forced. It just kind of came out left field for nowhere, and not much of a storyline. But I'll have to tune in tonight and see if they do a little further explanation on that, why Edge did that, because I saw his last promo where it was the previous one, I apologize, where he was in the middle of the ring and just, you have the spotlight coming down, and it just emphasizes all of the wrinkles and whatnot on his face and just made him look evil, and it was really good, so AJ and Edge, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, I look forward to Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. I think that's going to be a good match too. But I'll have to watch WrestleMania this year. But It's weird because for years and years I never missed WrestleMania, and it's just been so exhausting lately with the 2 nights, and it's rough. I can't sit through 2 nights in that many hours, but I've got a couple of things in there. Like I said, I'm interested, and so I definitely want to see it, and I like to see AJ versus Edge. I'm excited about that. On to the big pay-per-view this weekend, Revolution, AEW Revolution. Actually, I take that back. I skipped over Rampage. We had some events happen in Rampage, which let's backtrack a little bit. Rampage, obviously, go home Rampage before the pay-per-view. One of the things I don't understand, why wasn't the 3-way for the TNT title the main event? That was just weird to me. Obviously Sammy retains. And then we have the surprise with Eric Redbeard, formerly known as Eric Rowan, teaming up with Death Triangle for Revolution. I was excited for that. I enjoyed Eric. He wasn't the best worker out of that group. Obviously, Brody Lee was a much better wrestler, but it's fun to see him pop up every now and then. I doubt they're going to sign him, to be honest with you. I think this is a one-time deal, but yeah, we've got that going on for Revolution. Then Christian Cage advances to the face of Revolution ladder match, which seems logical. I mean, he's been phenomenal in ladder matches before, so it makes sense that they would put him in there. Onward to Revolution, which was yesterday, it was Sunday. I was surprised that the Death Triangle versus House of Black was a buy-in. That shocked me, and to be honest with you, I think that was one of the better matches of the night. I don't know if it's just because I like everyone involved in it, but I really like what they're doing with that triangle and this dark Penta and the whole thing with the House of Black. I love those guys. So I was kind of shocked that this was a buy-in. This should have been part of the pay-per-view. And Redbeard ate the pin. I don't expect him to stick around, like I said, so it makes sense that he would eat the pin because that doesn't devalue anyone who's in the promotion then, so it kind of makes sense, and then we had Eddie Kingston beat Jericho, which is cool. I'm happy with that. I should say I'm kind of jumping around here. I'm sorry, but we had the other couple matches with the buy-in, and really didn't mean a whole lot to me, to tell you the truth. But then we on to the first match, which was Eddie Kingston beating Jericho, which I'm happy that Kingston beat Jericho, because Jericho doesn't need to be winning those matches at this point in his career. So I'm happy that Kingston beat him, and it kind of sets him up for a big match kind of thing, and because that was the whole knock against him. Oh, you can't win the big ones, yada, yada, yada. Jericho was going off on him. And I like that. That puts him on a higher level. I like Eddie Kingston a lot. Man, is he one of the best promos in the business. Not the best in the ring, but you know what? He does everything else extremely well. So, and then we had the matchup with for the tag team titles. I'm grateful that Bucks didn't win. Yeah, I'm grateful that the Jurassic Express retained their titles. I'd like to see them belts on them a little bit longer. Eventually, I'd like to see Santana and Ortiz take the belts off them, but I'd rather see them. In the meantime, I'm okay with that on Jurassic Express, and I'm so grateful that Bucks didn't win. But this obviously sets up some further confrontations down the line between Red Dragon and them, and Tony Khan had made a comment earlier about 3-way titles. I think they're going to do like a 3-way title with Kenny Omega and Young Bucks beating like Adam Cole and Red Dragon. That's just my own feeling. But yeah, like I said, I'm just grateful Bucks didn't win. I'm tired of them. I'm young bucked out. I'm sorry. And Wardlow won the Face of Revolution. I am really happy about that, and he got a great pop. And they need to good booking. They need to keep his momentum going. He is going to be a massively over babyface. So really good booking. They're making him a star. Excellent. Well done. Very good. And we'll get back to that in a little bit. I know I'm skipping over some matches, but there was some stuff, what did we have, I'm trying to think. Here, did I go past the, Thunder Rosa and, Britt Baker match? Or was that was actually after the Punk match. I'm sorry. Next, I think we had the CM Punk versus MJF match. Well, once again, great old school feud. I'm happy that Punk won. I'm happy that they resolved it. MJF got his wins. Punk gets his win. I'm okay with kind of even Steven booking with this. I don't think it detracts from anybody in this. I think if anything it builds them up, because MJF went toe to toe with Punk on the mic in the ring and came out looking great. It's funny because the majority of this match it seemed like Punk was the one taking the real hard bumps and whatnot. He looked like he was taking the bulk of it, which was, you would expect MJF to take more of that because he's younger, but both guys took their lumps, and Punk bled a lot, and MJF bled too. So it was a pretty brutal match, which a dog collar match should be. It should be brutal. It should be really violent, and it was good. It was very good. That and the Death Triangle match are probably my two favorite matches of the night. Speaking of ROH, previously, Punk's old theme music, they did a great little twist, great psychology. When Cult of Personality played, MJF cut in with his theme music and came out. And then Punk came out with his old Ring of Honor theme music, his old Ring of Honor attire. Man, that was really good. Great psychology, great set for the match. Really enjoyed that. Great deal. And it had been forever since I'd heard that. I didn't recognize it at first. I had to look it up, and I was like, "Oh, sweet." That was a really nice nod to Ring of Honor. And I know after the pay-per-view, they did a little press with Tony Khan and CM Punk, and Punk got really choked up with he really respects and loves Ring of Honor. So when he had said that he's glad to see it in the right hands, and he's really happy, and that's good to see. I like seeing Punk happy. I like seeing him in a good place, because he wasn't in a good place in WWE, and the guy's way too talented not to be wrestling and not to be contributing, and it's really good to see him in a better place, which he seems to be, And then we had that great Wardlow face turn, at the end of the match when he walked out there. MJF called for him. He came out, couldn't find the ring, quote unquote. Went in every pocket except for the one it was in, purposely, obviously. Then Punk was able to capitalize on it. And once MJF was down, Punk was facing Wardlow. He just happens to find the ring. Beautiful beautiful facial expressions, beautiful little pantomime there with the rings and whatnot. Great face turn. Good job. Really good booking. That's that AEW doesn't always do things right, but everything involved with this has been right, and I think that's a great. I should say it could be attributed greatly to both CM Punk and MJF. Doing a great job, and Wardlow's going to be a huge face. He's going to be a huge face. Good payoff of the feud. At the end, CM Punk was doing his little Bruiser Brody tribute, swinging the chain around. Great job. They've been doing that. Good job. Really good vignette for Moxley versus Danielson. They need to do more of this type of thing. This is something that WWE can do very, very well. And AEW has shown that they can do it very well too. They need to do more of it. Because it progresses the storyline. It sets up the event. It gives a big main event feel. And they need to do a lot more of this. Brutal match. Good match. But you wouldn't expect anything else on Moxley versus Danielson. Surprise at the end. William Regal. That was a nice surprise. I'm glad to see him. He's got a great mind for wrestling, great personality, very charismatic. I'm really happy to see that he had signed with AEW. Great job there. Great job. I mean, he did great as the general manager of NXT. Great on-air personality. Even when he was a general manager in WWE, he did great stuff. Really, really great wrestling mind, charismatic guy, smart guy, and I'm really happy to see him with AEW. I think he's going to improve the product a lot. It was good to see a tie-in with the past with Moxley and Danielson, him coming out. Good job. Like I said, really good job. Next we had Cole versus Page. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually see this match, which really, really, really pisses me off. But Page retains, which is great. I'm happy they kept the belt on him. I hope this doesn't hurt Adam Cole's momentum, but I wanted them to keep the belt on Page, which they did. I think the only match I didn't really cover, I know Ty Conte got beaten by Jade Cargill, which both of them are so green still. I really don't even want to judge that match. That's something that should have been almost put in as filler. That sounds awful saying that about a title match, but it would have been a nice break, because one of the things that bothered me about this was the placement of some of the matches. You didn't get a breather at all in between some of the real highs and lows, and it was a little too much sometimes. It was a little exhausting, especially the Punk after the Punk versus MJF match and whatnot. That was I could have used a little comedy sketch in there in between, or something to kind of break the mood and give some highs and lows to it. I know. Obviously, we had the Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker match, and to be honest with you, that was a little bit of a letdown. I had a hard time getting into that match, and it was a little sloppy at times. And which really disappoints me, because I love both of them. Thunder Rosa is really a great wrestler and really cool. And Britt Baker has been carrying the women's division for a while now, so that was a little bit of a letdown. I expect a lot more, but I think anything other than their lights out match, their non-sanctioned match, would have been let down, because that was such a great match. I think the bar was set so high that I think anything else would have been a letdown. So that's too bad, though, because I really like both of those women, and Thunder Rosa especially. My wife and I used to watch her in NWA and became huge fans of her. And I would like to see her get the belt someday once the Britt Baker thing starts getting a little stale. But yeah, I'd like to see. I don't know. Something's missing. I can't put my finger on it. This whole Thunder Rosa Britt Baker thing got a little bit stale, and like I said, I honestly don't know what went wrong, because both of them are great competitors. So I don't know. I wish the best for them, and I'll continue to support both of them, be fans. But that kind of fell short last night. And I hate to say that, because, like I said, I really do appreciate both of them. I'm really big fans of them. But yeah, that was the pay-per-view. Good pay-per-view. A little exhausting. I mean, what was it? I don't know what the official runtime was, but I'd swear it went on it started at 7 Central Time here, so 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and it must have gone to close to midnight, I think, or at least it felt that way. I don't know what the official time was, but it definitely felt that way. It was pretty exhausting. Overall, good pay-per-view. Not one of their absolute best, but it had some real good matches in there. Honestly, don't know what I'd give for rating. Maybe B minus, because I think the placement of the matches could have been better. Oh, and the buy-in, you had Hook versus QT Marshall too, which is kind of. I'm glad they put that in the buy-in, but they could have probably placed that in between some of these other matches to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. Obviously, continue to build up Hook. He's still very green. He's still got a long way to go, but the guy's obviously got something there because the fans love him. And he's fun to watch. Like I said, he's got a good look. It's a different look. It looks almost like a welterweight boxer when you see him go out there, especially in those trunks and whatnot. But he's gained speed. People like him, so yeah, build him up. Why not? He's gonna have to go up against some real opponents eventually, and that'll be interesting when it happens. Hopefully they can build him up and not bring his character down too fast, But yeah, that was Revolution, AEW Revolution. It was a good show. Now is the week in wrestling. I probably missed a few things because there's a whole lot happening right now. But before I let everybody go, I'd like to once again, send prayers out to the Ukrainian people. Please give to the appropriate organizations. Please, track down Red Cross. There's a number of legitimate organizations out there that are helping to get food and supplies out to Ukrainian people, which they desperately need right now. So please continue to do so and have them in your prayers. I'd like to give a shout out to Then and Now Flea Market, downtown Trenton. Check them out and you can find some of my CDs there. You can find some handmade items from my wife. You can find some really great products there. You can get new items, used items, handmade items, a little bit of everything there because there's a variety of different vendors that all have booths set up. So Then and Now, downtown Trenton, Tennessee. And while you're at it, check out Lucky Lady Candles. Check them out on Facebook and Etsy, and they make some real great products. So they're always introducing stuff. I know they have a few different setups and flea markets. I can't remember the flea market in Milan, Tennessee, which is eluding me right now. Angel's Attic, I think it's called. I know they have a booth there, but you can find them right online. So if you're not in Tennessee, look them up on Facebook or on Etsy. And shout out for us. Check us out on Facebook, on Patreon. We got a Patreon page now. For just $1 a month, you can get ad-free audio. So check us out on Patreon. $1 a month helps us out tremendously, believe it or not. Get enough people and keep the lights on. So check us out on patreon.com and check us out on crushingkayfabe.com. Crushing with a K and kayfabe spelled as kayfabe. crushingkayfabe.com. Check us out there. You can, through the website, you can check out our various multimedia, various social media. I almost said multimedia. Wow, what an outdated term that is. But check us out on our various social media sites, YouTube, Facebook, so on and so forth. But check us out there. And thanks once again for listening. God bless and be safe out there, all right?